Hey, that wasn't bad, was it?
That was one of your better ones.
This is the Air Radio Worldwide Show, where we can have some fun.
Our national show.
Our national show.
We've got a special guest in the studio tonight, or the garage, I should say.
We have Peter Stamp here.
Absolutely.
Who is a broadcast legend in Toronto, no doubt about it. And we'll be having him on. Now, we're brought to you by NewfoundlandandLabrador.com. The wonderful folks there at Newfoundland Tourism.
Yeah.
And we'll be talking about the Rock a little later there, my son.
There we go.
Right there, buddy.
Trees
right
are down by the river.
That's right. Let's look at the headlines.
Get them out of the way.
Rapudaman Singh Malik, and you guys didn't remember who he was, but he was acquitted in the 1985 Air India terrorist bombing. He was shot, killed in Surrey, BC. And we've got Ivana Trump, of course, Donald Trump's first wife.
I didn't even hear about that. I didn't even know about that.
She fell down a flight of stairs or something, didn't
wow.
she? That's very sad. The Bank of Canada interest
the only
rate
Trump
hike.
I like.
Yeah, not too far from the truth there. The Bank of Canada interest rate will have a dramatic effect on Canadians, especially homeowners.
And we knew this was coming.
Prime Minister Trudeau defended Canada's decision to return a turbine using a pipeline that carries natural gas from Russia to Germany, and that's a tough call for him.
Yeah, it is. That's got to be a tough
the
one.
Russian missiles are still striking the Ukraine, of course. Dozens hurt this last week in the Ukraine south and east. And what's going on at Rogers?
Oh, that was a whole debacle going on with Rogers. They'll reimburse customers for up to 5 days of service. They were down for 15 hours plus. The CRTC is investigating along with Industry Canada. Just a crazy situation that went on there. So many people out of, and I think the biggest thing for that is the fact that people still couldn't call 911, and that was a key element.
And the hospitals and the banks were
a lot of hospitals. Yeah, a lot of hospitals were affected. Interact was affected. Yeah. So a lot of businesses actually lost business and income because of this. So, like I said, last I heard today, CRTC is investigating, and because Rogers has been very vague on what has happened and what's been going on. So
it did screw a lot of people up, there's no doubt about it. You've got to have a backup system there.
Absolutely. Capitol riots are also on the wild Trump tweeted incited attack. Says an inquiry, this whole thing going on about these riots back in January 6th, and how much involvement Trump did have and didn't have, or whatever, however you want to put it. Very interesting things. Well, very cool. I did see this too. Cosmic Cliffs, the Dancing Galaxies, James Webb Telescope, first photo.
Wasn't that like looking into the eyes of God?
Isn't that amazing? They were so amazing.
You see all the galaxies, and you see the one. They had the 4 galaxies, but the one is the red color. That's a new galaxy being built, and we can see it.
Yeah, that they've just discovered and everything.
And there's more. There's so much more.
From Uber, this came out this week. Massive leak reveals how top politicians secretly helped Uber. And,
I wondered how the taxi industry got kicked in the nuts.
Well, exactly, and how did this...
All over the world.
Because you got Lyft and Uber now and all these ones, and it's like, holy smokes. Roe versus Wade, thousands march to the White House on abortion rights. That's just going to be a whole shit show that's going to go on. I can't believe that this Supreme Court did that, but each state is doing their own thing, so that's kind of cool. This guy, what an assassination. Broad daylight, the Japanese...
Shinzo Abe.
Shinzo Abe.
Shinzo was well loved in Japan.
He was, and a broad daylight assassination. And gun control in Japan is like tight.
Japan is a very peaceful country.
Yeah, for somebody to be able to get a gun and do that. Now, I did hear rumors that it was actually a handmade gun. He had actually made it. Just kind of, wow. And then this top news, which just shocked the heck out of me, Elon Musk pulled out of buying Twitter.
Well,
wow.
he did. He was messaging me to lend him some money.
Oh, that was it. Oh, okay. He didn't have enough money then.
Funds, I'm not sure.
This thing in Hollywood, Florida is
all right, we're going to get into the fun stuff now. Yeah. That's all the news. This is Big Daddy's Morning Funnies material,
That's
of course,
absolutely
on Facebook.
It.
And thank you for being members on there, by the way. And keeping it clean, because you got to be careful. We are a family show, basically. This one out of Hollywood, Florida. Florida woman interrupted an uninvited guest in her bathroom on Saturday night. Michelle Reynolds told WSBN that she went downstairs to make herself a snack. After putting her popcorn in the microwave, she went to use the bathroom and opened the door and did a quick turnaround because I saw this thing in there and quickly shut the door, she said. The thing? It was an iguana right in the toilet there, and she was going to go sit on that toilet. The reptile was unable to find its way out of the commode, so Reynolds had to enlist Harold Rondon of Iguana Lifestyles or Russ. It's actually a wildlife removal service to rescue the little fella. And Rondon said that he removed several iguanas from South Florida properties this year already. And this is the second one this week already, Sid.
See, I got to tell you.
All right. Now, Joey Chestnut.
This was hilarious. I watched this, actually. The Nathan's Hot Dog Challenge, the eating hot dog challenge that goes on, happened on July 4th. This phenom, Joey Jaws Chestnut, put a protester in a chokehold while gobbling his way through his 15th win in Nathan's famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest, powering down, get this, 63 hot dogs and buns at the annual exhibition of excess. In a decisive chokedown comeback, the woman's record holder, Miko Saduo, downed 40 wieners and buns to win the women's title after skipping last year's Frankfest because she was pregnant. You'd think she'd actually eat more if she was pregnant, right? A spectator wearing a Darth Vader mask rushed the stage.
Listen to this.
Momentarily disrupting the competition. Chestnut put the protester in a brief chokehold before the contest officials hurried over and escorted Darth Vader away.
What a circus that must have been.
That must have been crazy.
Here they are munching down hot dogs. All of a sudden, Darth Vader comes into the scene. You know what I mean?
Well, then they had...
And then he gets Darth Vader and he's eating hot dogs. Well, this has got to be a publicity stunt.
And then, on top of this, another protester in a stormtrooper mask had also snuck behind the competitors and hoisted a sign saying, "Expose Smithfield's Death Star." Smithfield manufactures Nathan's famous hot dogs.
Yeah.
And after an altercation, Chestnut went back to the task at hand, devouring even more hot dogs. 63 hot dogs, man.
I would never eat them in my life again after that.
That is just crazy.
Isn't it wonderful living in America?
Yeah. Now this King's story is hilarious.
Dave Davies, we all know who that is. Apparently, this is right from, we're not making this stuff up.
The horse's
you can't
mouth.
make this stuff up. The 75-year-old rock star believes his mind was overtaken by aliens in 1982 when he was on tour in the U.S., and Dave claims that they blocked any sensation down there. Hey, he explained, they told me I must not have sex, and although I was able to walk normally, my groin and pelvis suddenly became numb. Any sensation was blocked from down there. The reason being, they told me, was that they wanted me to transmit my sexual energy to a higher vibrational level. And it gets a little strange after that. Dave was preparing to play a gig in Virginia when things got pretty weird. And apparently he believes that aliens, and he wrote a book, Living on a Thin Line. He couldn't understand why he was feeling so peculiar. Isn't that a bizarre story?
That's bizarre, man.
I
do love these stories that come off of our funnies page, and it's dynamite. A Florida man tries to flee deputies while riding his lawnmower. He faces several charges after deputies used a taser to stop him as he fled on a riding lawnmower Saturday morning. According to Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office, 40-year-old Dusty Mobley.
Well, I'm Dusty.
I'm Dusty.
Riding my mower.
I got my lawnmowers. Was not successful as previous attempts to evade authorities when he put his John Deere riding lawnmower into high gear and attempted to outrun the pursuing deputies. Authorities shouted at the man to stop and get on the ground before they finally tasered to temporarily immobilize him. According to the sheriff's office, Mobley had gotten away from authorities back in early January when he drove into a swamp along the Yellow River as deputies tried to talk him out or talk to him about a $40,000 stolen boat. So this guy has just got a track record, I guess.
One person you didn't want to go drinking with was George Jones, the old country star.
Yeah.
He'd shoot you. George would shoot you.
Yeah.
And he went riding on a lawnmower a few times, didn't he? And
We got an old fella that goes to the beer store and back on his.
Yeah.
He goes all the time to the beer
On
store
his
on his riding lawnmower. Yeah.
God.
Yeah. So it even happens here in Canada, people.
You live in a small town in Canada when?
Well,
in the wintertime.
we have Chicken Man.
Yes. The chicken man is a man that had a chicken on the back of his bike, and he used to ride it around. And he was completely sane. There wasn't anything. He just loved his chicken.
The great white-winged warrior.
Yeah. The white-winged warrior, exactly. Chicken man. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. That's right. That's right. All right. So we're into
The final story,
yeah.
and then we'll get Peter up.
And this one here, a pregnant woman ticketed for driving in a high occupancy vehicle lane in Texas says that her fetus should count as a second passenger, citing the recent Supreme Court ruling overturning Roe versus Wade. Can you believe this story?
Oh,
Brandy
wow.
Batone of Plano, Texas, a suburb of Dallas, where they spit a lot, was driving in the HOV lane on U.S. Highway 75 on June the 29th when she was pulled over after passing the Dallas County Sheriff Department checkpoint, targeting those driving in the left lane or in the
HOV
lane
or whatever,
whatever that lane is there.
Yeah, that's
HOV.
hilarious.
Yeah.
HOV
So
lane.
we're
All
gonna
right,
get Peter
we do
Stamp
have
here.
a special guest with us, a good friend of the stations and whatnot. We've got Peter Stamp with us. He's going to come in and jump in my chair, and Russ and Peter are
didn't know
going
he
to
had
have a little
two.
conversation and introduce you to him. And he's a longtime broadcaster, a legend in his own mind. Our minds anyway. But yeah, we're very happy to have him with us, and we're proud to bring him to you. We try to bring as many people on the show as we can, and so I'll let you guys take over.
And Leah, you're going to have your mom spit. You got to put his
fix
mic on. And if you're wondering what this, while they're doing that, I'll tell you, it is Lee Lakin's birthday this weekend. And on the other show, which is our local Halton Hills Online show, we actually sang "Happy Birthday," and we can show you the cake. There you go. There you go. It's a wonderful cake right there.
What a lovely
and,
cake.
Yes, and it resembled the bushfire, as a matter of fact, Peter, as we did set fire to it in the last show.
Well, that's
So we've
true.
done all that happy birthday shtick, and now it's a bit of mom spit from Leah, our producer, because none of us know how to put these microphones on
Lee's pretty
properly.
good.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. Well,
Thank you,
he's
Leah.
a musician, you know what I mean?
Thank you very much.
Now, Peter Stamp is here. Now, we talked on the other show about the University of Toronto Radio, but the fact is that you've been around radio for a long time, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we both have.
Yeah.
And your radio GTA swag there, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And,
of course.
You are on FM 108's Facebook. I love your attitude of life of, make everyone smile, take the stress away, make people think.
Well, I put something up the other day. When I talk about being positive, I'm not talking about being stupid positive. I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening. You can't go around ignoring it, okay? But
Yeah.
you can try to relegate it to part of your mind and not let it control your way of thinking. So I like to make the distinction between being positive, and it's not the same as being stupid positive. Just like optimism.
Yeah.
You can be optimistic to the point of being ridiculous, but you can also be what I call smart, balance, yeah. And I think, so yeah, there you go, my friend. That's what I try to do.
Well, Peter, I mean, you were one of the first board members putting on CIUT. I want to thank you for doing that many years ago. I know you worked at CFOS and Chime in Kitchener.
Yeah.
And we've been buddies on Facebook for a long time. And you're going to come to our radio reunion, right? I'm going to come down and get you myself.
No, hey, look, I want to be there. Yeah, it
we're
sounds
having
like
a radio
lot of fun.
reunion on October the 22nd, and it is at Symposium Restaurant. And delightful food, delightful company. It's not going to be a loud affair. It's going to be a bunch of radio people talking to each other. And no, it's did I say Symposium, right? Yeah, that's where, there it is, the symposium. And I've talked to Gavin already and set everything up. So you're going to be there for that. And you're also going to be here for the show because he's busy calling the pizza man right now. We're going to have pizza.
Pizza and
Yes, pizza and cake. Hey.
I
It's
smile.
worth the drive to Acton.
It's worth the drive to Acton.
Eh?
Canada's leather town.
That's
Is it
right.
still known as that?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And the old Height House is just a block behind us here.
Oh, yeah, it's right there.
As a matter of
They
fact.
used to do so much radio.
Yeah. The guy from Seajoy in Guelph used to voice the commercials, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
the old
worth the
Height
drive
House,
to
worth
Acton.
and it was only his voice that could do the commercial, remember? The old Height House. It's worth the drive.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Acton.
I mean, yeah.
Now we're going to do Leah's music trivia. You and I will do this. As a matter of fact, we're... no, it's all right. I'm going to do this and just...
You should show me where it is. You can do
if
it
you
too.
want to follow along here, in 1970...
Oh, okay. So
No,
what am I-
no, it's all right.
you do it, and I'll
No,
just.
I'll do it, and he'll be my color man.
Okay. Okay.
There's a great idea. I got a color man right here.
Absolutely.
In 1973, this week in 1973, well, the guy drove all the way from Acton, sat in his
Come
hot
on in,
car.
birthday boy.
No, he'll be back
no,
in
we
a second.
need. I'm no good at this stuff.
This
Come on.
this week, are you kidding me? This guy here,
Okay.
the stamp of
I don't
approval.
believe- I don't believe him.
This week in 1973, Peter, during a concert at the John Wayne Theater in Hollywood, California, Phil Everly smashed his guitar and stormed off stage, and Don finished the set by himself. That announced the Everly brothers had split. This was the last that the duo performed together for nearly 10 years.
Wow. Wow. I remember when they came on the scene with "Bye Bye Love."
Oh, God.
Remember?
The golden days of radio jingles. Remember the radio jingles back in those
Oh
days?
my God.
They were longer than the songs, some of them.
The jingles, the jingles.
Yeah.
There was a jingle on CKUY in Toronto by a used car guy called Ted Davey.
I know Ted Davey. Ted
Just
Davey,
one
Ted Davey.
location, 901 on Danforth
Yeah.
Avenue. Call Ted Davey, Ted Davey, Ted Davey.
And they were using that in the 70s. And that started in the early 60s, didn't it?
Yeah, when
Or
you
late
mention a
50s.
jingle, that's exactly what comes to
Oh,
mind.
Ted Davey, Ted Davey. And what about the great slogan? Have a weenie with Al Palladini.
Oh, right.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
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 Our Eddie Palladini is a pal of mine.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
In 1954, 19-year-old Elvis Presley signed a recording contract with Sun Records. He also gave in his notice at his day job, the Crown Electric Company. Sam Phillips from Sun Records originally wanted to use Elvis to make demos of songs meant for other people. I didn't know that. But soon realized that, of course, this was the man, right? Have you seen the new Elvis
No,
movie?
but apparently it's fantastic. Have you seen the Elvis movie?
I'm halfway through it. And I
Oh, you
haven't
don't like
finished
it?
yet. It's taken a while to get going, but it is getting interesting, of course.
I've heard good and bad on both
Yeah,
sides.
yeah. It puts Colonel Parker in a shady kind of
Yeah.
view. Was he that bad or wasn't he? Who
I
knows?
believe he was. But
Well, of
my
course,
opinion.
but it's not my. But that's the way they. And in 1985, this week, Peter, the Live Aid concerts took place in Philadelphia and London to raise money for the hungry in Africa, of course. And the Beach Boys, the Four Tops, Tina Turner,
Yeah, it was a
Elton
big deal.
John,
Big deal.
David Bowie, The Who, Queen. Oh
Yeah.
my God,
Queen.
Everybody
Love that
was there.
It
group.
was like
Oh
just
my God.
mind blowing.
Now,
I think Freddie's best performance ever.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Well, the movie
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
fantastic.
And so much money was raised for Ethiopia.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it all started with Majur and,
Bob
of
Geldof.
course, Bob Geldof.
Yes.
Geldof.
Yes.
And,
yeah.
he was
and
kind of the ringleader.
he was.
Yeah.
And God bless him for that.
I still have-
talk about a one-hit wonder.
Yeah. Oh.
I still have the VHS.
I
many
still
of
play
the
that
Live
song
Aids.
every Christmas,
still
too. I
have
make
the-
sure I play it.
Lots of them.
Now, this week in 1971, Peter,
Yes, sir.
radio stations start running a Coke commercial called I'd Like to Buy the World.
Oh yeah, right.
Remember that?
I'd like to buy the world.
Oh,
da-
go.
Yeah.
da- da-
And it was
da-
sung by
da-
the
da-
News.
da-
Perfect.
Everybody knows it.
Harmony.
Yeah. Even the young folks know that.
Yeah.
That's
I
That-
loved when I found that.
You know,
I forgot
That
about
was
it.
that was genius, wasn't it? That
It
was
was.
just beautiful.
And the New Seekers, of course, they had a hit with the song in 71 too. And I'd like to teach the world to sing.
Yeah.
Oh right,
And
right.
but it all started from that commercial on that hilltop, and to put the world together like that, that's something that
Yeah, no, that was
was pretty.
beautiful.
It was ahead of its time.
Oh,
wasn't
for
it?
sure.
Really.
We could use something like that now.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, this is all put together by Leah Lywood, of course, our producer here. She digs for all this information on the Air Radio Network. 1988 this week, Playgirl magazine publishes their list of the 10 sexiest rockers. You know who they are? There we go. This is 1988, keep in mind. George Michael, LL Cool J, Brian Ferry, surprised me, Michael Hutchins of INXS, Richard Marx, John Cougar Mellencamp. He was a sexy guy, I guess, in the 80s, wasn't he?
I would have taken Richard Marx
Jack
off
and Diane.
over him, though.
Would you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a gal, so I don't know. Brett Michaels of Poison, Larry Mullen Jr. of U2, Robert Plant, Terrence Trent D'Arby, and, of course, Peter Stamp. Was
yeah.
number
Right.
11.
Stamped
yes,
approved.
right there. Well, he did play the Spoons once, I know that.
Robert Plant would have been number 1 for me.
Yeah. Do you remember this? The Demolition Night, the Disco Demolition Night they had at Comiskey Park,
No.
where the White Sox and the Tigers were playing a doubleheader. The plan was to blow up a bunch of disco albums between games. This is back in 1977. But it goes horribly wrong when fans become unruly and rush the field, forcing the White Sox to forfeit the second game.
Whoa.
And that was all. Steve Dahl was the DJ that put that together.
There was about 7,000 people that stormed the field.
Yeah.
And there was explosions.
One of the
and
great radio promotions that went wrong, Peter.
a little
It's,
awry.
you know, like the turkey drop in Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah, right. I swear to God, I thought they could fly.
I loved Les in the parking lot.
WKRP,
It all got a little strange after that.
Yeah. Oh, the humanity of it all.
That is still one of my all-time favorite WKRP.
Oh, that is brilliant.
I'll tell you something about WKRP. It was all of those episodes were real. They actually happened at WQXI in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Really?
And the guy that was a sales manager there wrote about it or something.
Yeah.
And the original DJs, one of the original DJs on Quixie in Dixie, which is WQXI in Atlanta, was Johnny Fever. He was built on him. But it wasn't, his name wasn't Johnny Fever,
But he just passed away, the actor.
yeah. I was surprised he was as old as he was.
How old was he?
He was in his 80s when
Really?
he passed
Well,
away.
he had to be what? He was in his late 30s,
But
early
then
40s. when he
I
did
think
WKRP.
1976 is yesterday.
Well, yeah, so do I.
You know.
You want to see a great movie with him in it called Dr. Detroit.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Dr.
Great movie. I
Detroit.
love it. It's so funny.
Yeah. And here, I'm going to save the best for last,
Okay,
Peter.
here we go.
This week in 1951 on WJW in Cleveland, Alan Freed broadcast his first Moondog House rock and roll party. And boy, did he didn't have any idea what he was starting, did he? And here comes Peter and Russ and Lee and Leah. You know, here come the radio people. It's all his fault. And marking the first radio show with the phrase rock and roll,
Yep.
and giving Alan a claim on the origin of the term. And more importantly, Freed plays rhythm and blues music, which introduces the sound to new and mostly white audience.
Well, I remember when Bill Haley came out with Rock Around the Clock.
Yeah.
I had that. Oh, it wasn't. It was the week before, I think.
Yeah.
But
You know who
yeah.
else was good back in the day? Was Norman B., my old boss at
Yeah,
FM
yeah,
108.
yep.
He used to live and die by John R. John R. from WLSC, way down here south in Dixie, playing the rhythm and blues. Everyone thought he was a black guy. This guy was white.
Really?
Everyone thought Wolfman Jack was a black guy, and he was white.
Wolfman Jack.
Yeah.
What were you saying about Bill Haley?
Well, Bill Haley recorded Rock Around the Clock, and that was the first recording that I remember. I think it was probably around 1954, or 53 maybe, 52.
No, it was
It's around
54.
there, yeah, I
No,
can't
Rock Around the
remember
Clock was
either.
54. It charted in 55.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it was actually
Yeah.
published, I
Yeah.
think, 55 or released.
And that was kind of a breakthrough because prior to that, you know, the big bands and Glenn Miller and
Yep.
In the Mood and then all of us, and Elvis followed shortly thereafter, you know, like a tornado coming out of the south.
Yeah.
Bang, and it just changed the landscape completely. I was there, remember it well, and you guys are too young, but it was pretty darn exciting. And I saw Elvis at Maple Leaf Gardens live in 1955, and it was just brilliant.
My aunt was at that concert.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
same concert.
You know, I look at rock and roll.
The other day that she got to see Elvis live.
I look at rock and roll like this. It's it began with what I call the jukebox era, which is from 1950 whatever. And I'm not like 55. There was a rock and roll before 55. And
Right.
a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Laverne Baker.
Laverne Baker,
Yeah.
you know. So I take the jukebox era, and it ended in '63. Because let's face it, rock and roll was in trouble in '63. And I'm not saying I don't like the Bobby Curtolas and the Bobby V's. They were a very important part.
Metal was coming
But
in.
music was starting to get. We're heading back into the pop again. They needed a rock and roll, and so I look at the first era is the jukebox era from 1955 to '63. Then the Beatles and the British Invasion.
Beatles,
'64 to '70 changed everything.
Yeah.
Between those 6 years, and then we have the '70s, the '80s, and we carry on from decades. But I split up rock and roll like that.
That makes sense.
That's
Yeah.
what inspires the stuff behind you.
Exactly. And we're all inspired by the early stuff.
This is such a cool studio.
Well, it's a man cave.
I
for
like
radio
it. It's
people
really-
and musicians and a gal. I'm sorry, it's a gal cave too.
I could wear a mustache if you'd like.
No, that's
They
okay.
call that a she shed.
A she shed.
Shed.
God help.
Well, I'm just delighted to be here, and thank you so much. And walking in here, folks, it's like walking into another world.
It is.
It really is cool.
It is.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for dropping
Thank you.
by.
Thank you.
Now, we're going to get Lee back in to say goodbye, but I want to thank you. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
We,
Nice recovery.
Yeah, there, nicely recovered. Exactly. So, thank you so much for all the stuff you do for FM 108.
Oh, thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you for being our friend. I mean,
Well,
it's
thank you for what you're doing as well. Big
and
time.
enjoy your GTA swag.
I will. Thank you.
Wear it in the
Good night.
Go to the University of Toronto Radio wearing that.
Oh,
Into
yeah,
the CIUT
Whatever
studio.
happened to Peter? Well,
He got stolen. He was kidnapped.
Right.
he had a change of personality.
How are we doing for time, Leah? How are we doing? About 30, 27.
So we're not bad.
We got a few
We're not
minutes
bad.
left.
No, we again. I'm so happy Peter showed up and hung out and waited for us and all that
And we
stuff.
have pizza on the way, and it's your birthday, buddy. And
Yeah, big happy birthday for me, and just
Big
want to thank
55.
Leah and Big Daddy and Peter and whatnot. It was so cool with a cake. Yeah.
We want to tell everyone about our sponsor this week, and that is NewfoundlandandLabrador.com, the place to go. How can you really not want to go to Newfoundland?
You want to talk about a family reception when you go there. You know, the kitchen parties, the Celtic music, the everything. It's just
the clothesline.
One of our local musicians, Kevin Woody, as we know him, he's out there performing now on the East Coast in Newfoundland and Labrador, and great response. The guy's just an amazing musician, and grew up in that East Coast music world where
really,
the
East
fiddle
Coast
comes
is
out.
a hotbed for music. I mean,
Absolutely.
it always has been.
On
many
a
influences there.
on a Friday night, anything can happen, and all of a sudden the kitchen's lit up and everybody's ooh, do and going, and I love that aspect.
Now, people talk about St. John's, and it's beautiful. St. John's, George Street. It's nothing like getting drunk on George Street.
Absolutely.
And
Because somebody will get you home.
That's right.
Too.
Now, but
Somebody will get you home.
There are other areas of Newfoundland apart from St. John's. There's Corner Brook. You have to check out St. Anthony and the icebergs and the whales.
Right.
In the northern tip of the island there. It is just absolutely
I
amazing.
think our pizza's here.
And, Leah, can you go get our pizza? Oh, I have to pay for that. Hey, watch this. We're going to pay for pizza in Acton right live on air right now. So there you go. There we go.
Yeah.
We're going to
This
see
is-
how loosey-goosey we are. I have no idea how much it is. So here, I don't know.
We're going to have them come around.
Oh, yeah, we can get him in right here. Yeah.
Come on.
Right, come on in, guy. And we've ordered a pizza from,
You don't mind being on camera?
No, we're doing a
come on
live
in.
show right now. Come on,
Come on
buddy.
in.
We'll
We're
get you-
rec- we're
come on in
recording
here.
right now.
How much do I owe you? How much do I owe you, buddy?
16.35.
16. So why don't you take that for yourself? Hang on a sec. Let me give you this. We're doing a live air radio thing around the world on the video here. Where are you from again? What
We
pizza
appreciate
parlor?
the food.
We're Twice the Deal. Twice the Deal Pizza,
Give it to
right?
Lee.
Twice
Yeah.
the Deal
We'll give it
Pizza.
to Lee.
Birthday.
It's his birthday. What's
Yeah.
your name, buddy?
Ronan.
Ronan, how are you? Say hello to the world right in the camera right there.
Oh.
Right on,
There you go.
Ronan.
Thank you, Ronan.
Excellent.
Happy birthday, Leah. There's the rest of the money for you.
It was only
Exactly.
16.
Don't worry about it.
Really?
I'm
There
on
you go,
live
man.
TV. I have to show people that I'm
What-
a good
Twice-
He wants
tipper.
to keep up his image.
That's
Twice
right.
For the cameras.
That's right.
Twice the Deal Pizza. And thanks, Ronan.
It'll keep the viewers.
And
Right
go
on.
on the Facebook and you'll see yourself,
There you go.
Ronan. Thank you so
like
much.
Amazing. It
Wow,
smells
there it is,
incredible.
right there.
Have a good
Incredible.
one, guys.
Look at this.
Thanks.
See you guys. We've got banana mallows, strawberry mallows. We've got cake. We've got pizza. We've got Peter Stamp.
It's party
We're
time.
just rocking here. You know what I mean?
What an amazing start to the weekend.
Yeah, I just paid for a pizza on live TV or
Yeah.
radio or
That's
video, what it was,
amazing.
isn't it?
Big Daddy
Isn't
comes
it?
through.
And-
Big Daddy comes
and-
through
and-
with a big tip too.
And
I
wait
tipped
and
him.
wait till he goes back to the store to tell him what he just experienced.
I told
too.
him, like,
yeah.
what are you talking about? I was only 16.
Yeah, that's funny.
You know what? Sometimes it pays to be at the right place at the right time.
Right time.
Don't forget
Absolutely.
our radio stations. We must be wrapping it up
Yep.
now, I guess. We have FM108.ca, which is like a trip into yesterday.
Absolutely.
If you're tired of today's bullshit, press the button. It'll take you right to FM108.ca. It's like being an American Graffiti and the movie never
He's still
stops.
sitting there.
Great. That's great. Awesome. Radio GTA, of course, our
Yep.
freeform station. We have the Big 20, which is our new music show, where we present music for the older generation that is new. Do you understand what that means? People our age. I'm a program director, music director. I listen to the songs that come out on the charts and all the different Spotifys and everything else, and I think, what is a 60 or 70-year-old person going to think of this song? Would they like it? If they do, it goes in. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So it's a place, the Big 20 is a place, it's the new songs for the older generation as well. Of course, the younger generation they love this stuff.
A lot of them are, yeah.
A lot of the stuff, and I'm not saying anything bad about rap music, is it's hard to mix rap and
Oh, yeah.
heavy
Yeah.
rock with normal music. And I don't
And this
mean
is
that
why
in a
you
bad
don't
way.
see rap radio stations
right.
out there. So
Yeah, it's
it's
just
very
hard to-
challenging.
But,
But
yeah,
you know,
So-
we also have our local radio, Halton Hills Online, as you see here.
That's right.
You know, we're from Halton Hills, Ontario, Canada, and it's our local radio station. We do our local
we
news.
have 3 radio stations we run.
Yeah.
We have Air Radio.
And Air Radio is across all 3 of them. So
right.
you know, we encourage you to check them out, and you know, I think you really enjoy it. Especially, I think our national audience, the FM 108 one is a really one that I think a lot of people will enjoy, and just get that feeling of.
Well, you know,
yesteryear.
there's not too many places you can hear Ernie Maresca records anymore.
Well,
Shout, knock yourself out. But he did write songs for other people. But what I'm saying is even oldie stations today, it's hard to hear even Elvis anymore on the regular.
on a lot of
dial.
them, yeah.
740, thank God they're there, but nothing else. I can't. Or
Well, it's even our band. We do a couple of Elvis tunes, and we change them a little bit so it suits what our band is.
Right.
But we did a gig out in Cheltenham there last weekend, and people came up to us afterwards and went, "Nobody plays Elvis. Bands don't play that."
just don't play Mustang Sally. Please.
Oh, God,
I
no.
love it, but
Yeah.
God,
That and
let
Freebird.
Wilson Pickett handle it.
yeah,
You know
that
what
and
I mean?
Freebird.
Yeah.
There's always somebody in the bar that goes,
Oh,
"I want to hear Freebird."
Yeah, I don't.
I don't. I've played it so many times. I do not want to
It's okay,
hear it
we've
anymore.
heard it so many times.
All
But
right.
I do want to thank Leah, Russ, Peter, of course, for joining us for the lovely birthday cake. My birthday on Sunday, so
Happy birthday,
yeah.
buddy. Happy birthday.
It's,
Another year older, and was that Pink Floyd phrase? Never mind, I won't use that one. You know what I'm talking about.
But
Time.
thank you all for tuning in. We're on location at Lee's Garage, and have yourself a great week. We'll catch everybody next week. For Big Daddy Russ Horton, Leah Lywood, Peter Stamp, and myself, we'll catch everybody on the B-side.
That pizza smells good, man.
It does.
I can't wait to get for it. Get to it.
And thanks to Twice the Deal.
That's right. She's pointing at my yellow thing. I don't have that anymore. We're from Canada.
Community
so-
worldwide.
Community Worldwide from Halton Hills, Canada. Yeah. It's smudged out.
Yeah.
See?
Well, you need to unsmudge it.
I know. It's short-term memory loss. I have no idea why.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Great week, and we'll catch everybody next week.
Bye. Let's eat.